lots of conversation about how fast Donald Trump is appointing his cabinet, getting his team in place, how fast the nominations are coming, fast and furious. In fact, the last I saw was 12 in a couple of days. 8 days after the election, they made 12 appointments, which, if you go back, evidently to get to that level, President Obama and President Biden took almost 40 days to get to that point. George W. Bush took over 50 days. Some of that had to do with the Bush v. Gore litigation, but they're tripping over themselves, saying, "Look how fast! Look how efficient he's learned. He's going to be presidential. Oh, he learned from the last time." No. This is Project 2025 in action. This is the fact that the machine, the right-wing machine, got behind him. The last time, 2016, they didn't want him and they didn't think he had a chance. So they didn't produce a giant document 900 pages long to talk about all of the bad ideas that they wanted to put into law. They didn't pay people, millions and millions of dollars to come up with bad ideas on how to destroy every agency of government. They didn't have their wet dream list. They got it now. And they've got it in a big way. So the fact that you now have a Trump that gets, how to play the game a little bit, and a motivated money class and a motivated disinformation machine, some dangerous things are going to happen. And the question that I keep asking, will we get a media? Because we keep looking for our media to be our savior. It's not going to be. But we keep asking, will we see true investigatory journalism? Will we see the vetting of candidates for these positions by our media in a way that does them justice? Or will we see kind of a brushing under the rug to keep access, to stay in good favor, to keep relationships? Because, hey, 4 years going to be a long time to be out in the cold, because this administration will punish you for being disloyal. This is where we're at. This is what authoritarianism looks like. This is what a fascistic government looks like. This is the takeover by corporate CEOs of government. This is that melding of private interests and government interests into the hands of the CEO class. And that's what we've got here, folks. The question is will we pay attention? Now, the hope is look, we've signed on. We are in this through this nightmare. Here at the program, we have made the commitment. We are staying. Because I've had a bunch of people go, "What are you going to do, Rick?" Well, he's promised to retribution. He's promised to go after his enemies. He's promised, people like you to maybe disappear. Well, if you don't see us, if we're gone one day, you know where we went. Someone came and snatched us up, because we are here for this term. We will be here to spread light on the horrible that's going to happen. You've heard me say the solutions will be in the savagery. The things that they are going to do, because corporate America now has all the power. The things that they are going to do to cause great suffering, we will be focusing on. The attacks to workers through a Department of Labor that will be weaponized against workers, we will be focused on. A healthcare system that will be weaponized because Health and Human Services is now, going to potentially be in the hands of a kook. We will pay attention to in every way that we can on working class issues. We will focus on what this administration is doing, because ultimately there's going to be chaos. There's going to be the distraction, the diversion. There's going to be the shiny thing. Matt Gaetz for Attorney General. There's going to be the, hey, look over there, while the CEOs do what they want. And that is to create an environment that is even more business friendly than we are now, to create a tax code that benefits them even more, that creates a regulatory regime that benefits them even more, that creates labor policy that benefits them. Understand, there is right now, as we speak, an attack on the National Labor Relations Act. I guarantee you our Supreme Court will rule in a way that any changes harm workers, but they keep the parts that benefit employers. Because that's what they want. They want to show that government is ineffective. They want to show that government has no power. They want to show that government is broken. And they're breaking it. And they're going to tell you, we have to break it if we want to save it. If you want a government, we've got to destroy all this. We got to fire everyone. We got to undo all of this, and we'll remake it in the image of the 80s and 90s, the 1880s and 90s. And that may be great, depending on which side of the horrible you're on, which side of the suffering, which side of the savagery. And that age-old question will return to us. Which side are we on? Who will we stand and fight for? Will it be our neighbor? Will it be our brother, our sister, a relative, or ourselves? Want to hear your thoughts? Email me, rick@thericksmithshow.com. Are you ready? You ready to see what's coming?